Yeah.
That right,
Yeah, very, very much so over there in Hollywood. So it's been found, oh, yes, Carl.
Mixed use, does it change the lifestyle, the amenities that are offered, smaller units or larger units? What's happening with mixed use?
Well, as far as the unit size, that's all going to really depend on the market. What the developer will do is come in and do a market study and determine, what types of units are going to sell, what type of unit mix they should have, whether they should have condos, whether they should have townhomes. If they have condos, what size? Should they have 50, 750 square foot units and 70, 1,200 square foot units? That's all going to depend on the market. Now, a lot of times, a rap that has been placed against mixed use is that it caters to upscale buyers, and oftentimes it has, just because of the land cost and construction cost. Sometimes a developer is really forced into a certain market, but some cities have offered incentives to developers to make a certain number of units in a new development termed affordable. And what's affordable, in a city like Los Angeles or San Francisco, really is middle class type of unit. But parking, there's been some studies shown that mixed use projects within a quarter mile of light rail actually enhance the value of the property, whereas mixed use within a quarter mile of a freeway actually hurts the value of a property. Places like San Francisco also are very much encouraging, and these aren't public companies, but these are primarily private companies. Places like San Francisco, Boston, and Washington, D.C., and I think in Chicago, they have these new companies that literally are car share companies, where people that are living in these types of places actually don't own their cars. And what they do is join like a club. It's not renting a car, it's like a club where you pay a certain fee every month, and then a flat fee every month. And you go pick up, when you need a car, they have cars in different locations in the city. You just go pick up a car, and you pay an hourly fee for the car, which includes gas, insurance, and maintenance, and everything. And then you only use the car, you only pay for the car as long as you have it. So you get rid of the fixed cost of owning an automobile. And that helps people, because most people, even if you live in the densest city, at some point, most people need an automobile. So those kinds of things are popping up as mixed use is popping up as well. So, is mixed use, I'll ask again, is it a fad? Is it a flash in the pan? How many people think it's gonna, in 5 years, we won't be talking about mixed use anymore? 10 years? How many people think it's a cure-all for all our problems of congestion, air pollution? Chew, is it cure-all?
For now. I'm sure there'll be another.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a cure-all. That's my guess is it would be, if we take all the available land in LA County and develop it into mixed use, as long as it, environmentally it works, we'll, in 10 or 20 years we'll see the congestion reduction on the freeway. I don't think so, because I keep reading in 20 to 30 years there'll be another 6 million people living in the Los Angeles area, metro area. That's like, another metropolitan Dallas is moving here in 20 years. So it's going to take a lot. One thing, I'm not a planner, I haven't had any training in planning, but one thing a lot of planners say is if you can get people out of their cars and reduce car trips, the overall quality of life will improve for everybody. And it, that sounds like it makes sense for me. So mixed use is part of that. In a place like Riverside County, where we're out a lot these days, Riverside County is a little different from Orange County in that when you go out to Riverside County, you see just a sea of new homes. But what you don't see is a lot of office employment. You see Arby's and Burger Kings and your nail places and stuff like that, but you don't see the big employment centers like you do in a place like where I live. I live in Irvine, so the residential, the office employment in Riverside County is not caught up. So I was reading about a guy, I always tell the guys I'm out with, I was reading about a guy that lives in Moreno Valley, and he works. You think my commute is bad? He works in Santa Monica.
Wow.
He just needs to get a room in Santa Monica. But that's very extreme, but that's the kind of commute and lifestyle we have. And it just doesn't impact him, it impacts the air. I mean, I don't know a lot about cars, but I'd love to see the tonnage of exhaust that his car produces every year during that commute, and all the gas he uses. And I'm certainly part of that problem. Let's see here. So, future of mixed use in California. Let's talk about the future of mixed use here. We touched on it here in San Gabriel. You can rest assured that this area that we're standing in now, in 10 to 20 years, if you go away, you won't recognize it when you come back. I guarantee it. It's going to remind you more of old Pasadena than any way it looks right now. As you can see, there's new developments coming up right to our west. I think that's senior housing closest to us here, and there's a retail center coming up, and there's other new projects that I'm certain are coming. So I think, I don't live here in San Gabriel, but I'm very familiar with the specific plan, and the city's seems to be very proud of their specific plan. It's somewhat strict, so I see the way the development is going. I'm encouraged by San Gabriel's plan. Alhambra, is that your hand, Sam?
Yeah, that's my hand. No, you know the area around the San Gabriel Mission?
Yes.
Are they doing mixed use in that area at all? Are there any residential units above any of those commercial stores and stuff?
They've got a specific plan over there, Mission District specific plan, and they may allow mixed use. I don't know. If they do, they may not see a whole lot of it because their allowable densities aren't that high over there. And what I mean by allowable densities, I don't mean to talk down to anybody, I just don't know what everybody knows, is just the amount of building that you can put on a piece of property. It's often, like in San Gabriel, it's expressed as the floor area ratio, the FAR. And here, they increase the FARs from, I think they're like 0.5 to 0.75 before the new specific plan came in. Now they're at 3. So on a 30,000 square foot lot, you can put you can't, but you're starting with 90,000 square feet of building. So you're talking about going a little higher. You're not going to get 90,000 square feet on a 30,000 square foot building because there's setbacks and all that stuff, but you're talking about a lot more building than has previously been allowed. And the specific